day 25. Holy shit, we're almost done. Almost done, almost done, almost done. All these fucking Godzilla movies are really starting to get to me again. And we are back today with another one from the 2000s. Well, actually, this is truly the first one, I think, in the 2000s. Godzilla 2000 technically was in 99, 98. So this is Godzilla versus Megaguirus. Basically Godzilla versus a giant fucking dragonfly. Not one of the cool dragonflies like the ones from the Coheed and Cambria stuff, but like a giant grotesque monster dragonfly that you have up there. So what is the basic story of this about? Well, see, we open the movie with them fighting Godzilla, and this girl, who, again, the actor name escapes me right now, probably will escape me, but anyway, this lady, she witnesses her commander die, and when he dies, he gets kind of crumbled by Godzilla, and she kind of blames Godzilla. So she joins the G Grasper Force, or whatever they're called, who is a group that's trying to stop Godzilla. And in this, Godzilla is attracted to energy. So he was attracted, they say in 1954 when he first attacked, he was attracted to the nuclear energy. And then plasma energy came out. And so now he's attracted to plasma energy. They moved the capital of Tokyo to Osaka. And so it attacked Osaka in 1996. And that's when she lost her commander. So she's here. We get to meet this other dude that's like a whiz engineer, self-taught, that surprisingly has an interesting like bowl trick where he cooks curry onto a spoon, like rice and curry, using microwaves and little robots. I don't know how the fuck he does that. Like, she's all, oh, this is the way that it's done, and you're like, that's still fucking amazing. Like, he's got these little robots that can go out there and put specks of rice on a spoon and then put curry on top of it and heat it up and not get blown up by the microwaves. That's amazing. So what they're trying to create is, and this is the dumbest thing, okay? I guess maybe they thought, oh, this would be kind of cool or whatever like that. I just don't agree with it. But it is a black hole gun, basically, is what they're making. They figured out if they could shoot a black hole at Godzilla, that he gets sucked in and boom, no more Godzilla. Godzilla's gone. Bye, Godzilla. It's so terrible. And, yeah, I mean, I guess you can do so. I mean, you're kind of reaching at straws here. So far, a lot of these have been G-Force related. They've been in the picture for a while, but at least we're away a little bit from the ESP stuff. But, you got Godzilla, then they try to use it against him. Meanwhile, there's these little things called Magellan or whatever the fuck they're. Basically, the dragonflies. Like, there are these old dragonflies that somehow came because they said that the black hole, when it's done and it's gone away, it creates a little wormhole, which released these dragonflies from way back in the past. And they have different stages of life. There's the Magellan and the Megalus and then the whatever, Megaguirus or whatever the fuck. I don't know. The names escape me from this. All you gotta know is that there is one scene where there is a shit ton of them on a wall. And I don't know if it really holds up. I mean, it would have been creepy back in the day, maybe if I saw it in the theater. And when I haven't seen better CGI, but this is still for 2000, 2001, still like, I've seen a little better CGI before. But I do like the Godzilla costume, which continues on from Godzilla 2000. And when that dragonfly finally grows up into our giant, like, dragonfly, it looks really cool. Like, I really like the Kaiju monster creation for this one. And, so they basically can breed in water, and they all form into all these different dragonflies. They're like a swarm nature, and then they go after Godzilla. See, they're trying to lure Godzilla, G-Forces, onto an island so they can shoot him with a black hole gun and send him away bye-bye for a long time. And, of course, the dragonflies come in because they also sense energy, and what they're basically doing is building their big queen. And to do that, they're going to suck the energy out of something and then transfer the energy to her. So they all go because Godzilla is this giant energy source, and they completely swarm him. I mean, he gets covered with these dragonflies, stinging him, sucking his energy. He can't really quite get rid of all of them. Tries his fire breath on them, gets rid of some. He actually gets rid of quite a few, to be honest, but not enough to stop the creation of the giant queen dragonfly. And even the good guys, they shoot the black hole and totally miss. It's not a direct hit on Godzilla, and it's around, so it's not big enough to actually pull him in. And they have like an hour of wait time to basically fire it again. And so they set it up in the city, and when they do that, that's when the giant dragonfly comes out and starts terrorizing everybody. And then everybody ends up in Tokyo, and you get the battle between Godzilla and the dragonfly guy, and that's actually pretty good. The kaiju battle in this is pretty good, but it's still a little awkward. Like, there's these weird, like, slow motion type scenes. Like, you look at Godzilla, and it's moving really slow, and I don't know why. I honestly don't. And it's only when it's on Godzilla, but when you go back to the dragonfly guy, he's, like, flapping his wings supposedly really fast, and it looks really fucking terrible. But when they do the up-close fights, it's great. And I really enjoyed those parts of it, other than the thing. And Godzilla, you know, it is bloody. There is one scene earlier on where it's kind of got that little horror element like Destroya had. But, you know, and it gets kind of bloody, like when this guy gets killed by one of the dragonflies. Like, he gets attacked from the back. He spits blood all out of his mouth. It's quite intense. So, of course, Godzilla, he eventually does kill the giant dragonfly by blowing it up with his fire breath after a very long battle with it. Where highlights and crew of them both biting each other, Godzilla being rammed into by the thing and falling down, Godzilla falling down because he got rammed into again, and Godzilla falling down because he got rammed into again. And then Godzilla, like, swinging him and sticking his... My favorite part, though, of the whole fight is Godzilla doing, like, a jump from the top rope type of attack against him, where he, like, totally throws his whole body against him, just like it's fucking WWE or some shit like that. It's pretty goddamn hilarious. So eventually, he does kill the giant dragonfly. They figure out how they're going to get him, and they, what Godzilla's after. See, there's a secret plan to keep the plasma energy going, even though it was supposed to be scrapped a long time ago, and that's what's attracting Godzilla now to Tokyo, because a generator still exists, because they believe that it would still bring much wealth and prosperity to Japan. So the bad guy, well, I guess the guy within the G-Force doesn't really get his comeuppance, but Godzilla does get blasted by the black hole gun as it's falling back into the atmosphere, about to be destroyed because, you know, can't survive as it comes in. It's coming in hot, but it manages to fire right before it destroys itself. So Godzilla supposedly goes away. The girl, she saves the day because she's able to have them track the jet rather than Godzilla, and she gets out at the last possible minute, so she's still alive. Now, what do I rate this film? I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. I want to give it a 3, but I still don't think, like, all the other stuff is really just not, it's just not entertaining that much. The human stuff doesn't really do a whole lot for me, and even though the kaiju fights have some good moments, they're not the best in the world, and it's kind of boring. I liked it to an extent. Like, if you just showed me the last 40 minutes, 30 minutes of this film, I think I'd like it a lot, but everything that kind of leads up to it is just not that great. So, with that being said, we are going to bring back some old favorites in the next episode. Oh, can't wait for day 25, or day 26, I guess. We already did day 25. You're at the end of it. So join us tomorrow for another 31 Nights of Horror Kaijufest, where we'll be discussing the longest title, I think, in all of the Godzilla films. We'll see you then.